Hello, today I will show you how I made the braking sounds for the vehicle project on Unreal Engine. And on another video I was using recorded sounds for the braking sound effects, but now I made a meta sound using noise generators, so I will show you this. Let's see an example. The final result. Here it is this variable is the one I use to set a boolean that says if the car is braking or not braking, and fire and play the sound. And also, depending on the value, it also updates another parameter for the intensity of the brake. If the car is moving, the release of the sound is longer of the braking. But if it stops moving while it stops braking, it's faster. So there's no braking sound if the car is not moving, right? Okay, so first, the component where I'm setting all the sound for the car that is attached to the car palm. And here I'll show you what I did. This function checks the brake torque, the value I showed you before, from one wheel only to make it simple, so far at least. So if this value is over 800, it sets this braking variable to true. Also checks that the car is not, it's not in the air and the wheels are touching the floor. If the wheels are not touching the floor, it will not play the sound, right? So it sets it to true or false and fires this custom events. The custom events, the one to start only plays the sound, triggers the sound, and the end one, it stops the sound, of course. What it does is triggers the release of the sound, and it sets the time of the release depending on the speed of the car at that moment. If the speed is less than 1, it set it to 0.2, and if the speed is greater than or equal than 1, it sets a release time depending on the speed, up to 2 seconds right now. And there's also, well, of course, this function that checks the value, and if this is braking, it updates the brake intensity. So this intensity is what is going to modify a lot of values on the Metasound. Okay, so the value in Metasound goes from 0 to 1, but well, you can see it will never be 0 or a low value because the car is braking if this number is 800 or more. So, but it sounds good like this. I can change it, but it's okay. And yeah, now the Metasound, right? It's here on the main vehicle with the engine and all the things. So let me see. Yeah, you have, as I show you, it has the input of the intensity and the release time, two floats. And here, basically, the sounds are two noise generators only. Then they are going to these bandpass filters with different frequencies and different bandwidth, but very narrow bandwidth. And well, the frequency of these filters are set based on an internal variable that is 900 for one and 1100 for the second filter, filter and noise generator. But it's not always exactly that number, because I wanted to change it in one side, change it when the sound starts and ends, like in real breaking sounds, and also make it a little random between each breaking, right? So, for instance, here on play, it triggers this envelope that modifies the frequency, right? Here is the main frequency that goes to the filter. But in one hand, it's a little bit modulated by an LFO, very slow, but so it's at least varies a little bit if it's a long break. Also, at the very first 2.5 seconds, it increases more also, or decreases the frequency depending on this random value, negative to positive 50 hertz. So it's to make it will change a little the frequency of the filter depending on each break, just for a little while, and then it will just play this one. I mean, during all the sustain will be this value modulated just by the LFO, and this is the same. Okay, so these two sounds then are modified by some filters. There are like 3 parametric and a low pass. Also, I made some here multiplications and things, like to be able to just use the local intensity input and don't have many variables. So, for instance, this filter these are the parametrics. The central frequency could be from the 900, that is the first frequency, up to double, the 1800, right? Depending on the intensity. And also, depending on the intensity, the gain on that frequency will be up to 4 dBs, 0 to 4 dBs. And well, the same logic I'm using on other filters, like to make it to make it higher. I mean, to modify and to stress the higher frequencies as higher is the intensity. And this is a low pass filter just because it was too resonant without this. And also I am making it variate depending on the intensity. And the wave shaper, that I like it, but if it's too high the amount, it makes some clicks or doesn't sound that good. So it's up to 2 depending on the intensity. Okay, and here I have some variables like the main ADSR envelope of the sound. Well, it's triggered on played of course. And what happens is that what I'm doing here is that on play, we'll play this attack and decay. And here, it doesn't matter, this release. This is not working, not heard. Because on release, on stop, when the sound stops, it will, or I mean when the breaking stops, it will trigger this envelope that is affecting the main envelope, right? So when this is triggered, it will apply attack time very fast, 0, and a decay time. This is what it's going to be, what we consider the release, because it's the decay that will affect the main envelope, the main level. So this is the release input from the blueprint, right? I had to make it this way. Something I learned during doing this is that if I trigger this envelope on play and begin at the beginning of the sound, the release cannot be changed later after that. It will stay at 4, for instance. So I cannot do anything later. So the only way I found to do it is to do it like this. It will, the envelope here will stay with the sustain level, or you could trigger the release level, but with a longer release. Like here I have it at 4, for instance. But what it will matter is this, because this is multiplying this level. So yeah, on stop, this trigger root will start taking this second value. And what else? Here I added an interpolation for the intensity, also to avoid noise and clicks if the break torque is changing too fast. That can make clicks. This fixes. Also here on play, I'm adding another envelope to modify the intensity. The intensity, the thing that modifies a lot of things in the blueprint, it's also being affected on play by this. And I added to that a random value here, also for the intensity, to make it sound different on every play. Every time it plays, you play the breaking sound. Sorry. And then here, something more randomness I wanted to add is on play. The cutoff frequency is around this value because I'm adding a random number from -100, 150. So it changes a little bit on play. Well, that's it. I can play it here too. I'm looking for this. For intensity in the middle. And like a short release, for instance. Well, that was too fast. I think it's okay. Never that fast. Okay. It sounds better when you're driving the car, but yeah, okay. Well, that's it. This is it for today. I hope I was clear and you have enjoyed my Christmas decoration, and see you soon. Thank you.